And joining us now for a different perspective is the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Maryland Congressman Dutch Ruppersberger. Well, Congressman, let me just start. Marco Rubio says the president is guilty of presidential malpractice. How would you put it?
Absolutely not. Let's talk about where we are. We have a very serious threat with ISIS. There's no question. We are the most powerful country in the world, and when we have a threat, we're going to take action. Now, what people don't realize is that people that I work with and people in intelligence and the Armed Services Committee, we deal with the military and the intelligence community every day. And they're the strongest in the world. And they are there advising the president and giving the president exactly what we need to do to protect Americans and to stop this threat. Now, I think the president made a mistake when he did not come out as strong after we had an American's head cut off, not one but two. At that point, we should have, I believe he should have stood up and very strongly said, we're not going to take it, we're going to come after you, and we're going to bring you to justice. And I think the president realized that he had to be stronger. The vice president, who came out and said, we're going to follow you to the gates of hell. That's what we needed to hear, and we are doing that. And as a result of that, the President and the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Defense have organized, and they're bringing other countries involved. Because, you know, we in the United States, we're the most powerful, and people look to us for leadership. However, we also can't be sheriff for the whole world. We have other issues we're dealing with, too. And so if in fact, now that they know that we mean business, we have to have a strategy to take out ISIS, and we're doing it right now.
Well, so he's going to make a speech Wednesday to the American people. What do you want to hear from him?
Well, what I want to hear is to reassure the American public and the world that we're standing up, we're going to have a strategy, and we're not going to rest until we bring these people to justice and we stamp them out, because they're a threat to the United States, to Americans, to our allies, and to the world. But on the other hand, it's easy from a soundbite to say, we need to go in and bomb Syria if ISIS is there. We need to do what we need to do to take them out. You know, we have to make sure that we have the intelligence. Intelligence is the best defense against defense. I believe that if we're going to take ISIS out, you need to take out their leadership. You want to kill a snake, you cut its head off. And I believe that's what we have to do, find out where their leadership is and go after them.
Well, you heard Marco Rubio saying we need to go after the oil refineries in Syria. We need to go after these assets, these places that they're going to get revenue and so forth. Are you willing to go that far?
I'm willing to do what we need to do, but I don't want to tell ISIS what we're going to do before we do it. And I think that's what concerns me, to just say go in and bomb them. We need to get results, like we have done in Iraq and in Afghanistan and in Pakistan. And we have gone in, and we very effectively took out the leadership in that area. The problem is that the terrorism and al-Qaeda have grown a lot, and it'll be a threat for years to come. That's why we need to be strong from an intelligence perspective and get the information and do what we need to do to protect Americans. And believe me, our number one priority is to protect Americans in the homeland and then to protect Americans throughout the world. In my opinion, right now, Americans anywhere in the world are really at risk because of what's happening.
So you're with Marco Rubio that ISIS poses a threat to the homeland now?
Well, I'm with Dutch Ruppersberger, and I'm going to say what I think. I think the thing that concerns me about the homeland more than anything else is the issue of Americans having passports who have gone to Syria, have become radicalized, and then they have the ability to get back in the United States or Great Britain or Canada. I'll give you an example. You had a individual American who went to Syria, was radicalized, was trained as a suicide bomber, came home to see his parents, and then went back to Syria and blew himself up and killed other people. And we didn't pick up the visit to his parents. That individual was trained and could have attacked the United States. That's a concern to me. But let me say this from an American point of view. As of today, we don't have intelligence that says that there's going to be an attack tomorrow. Now, that can change the next day, and that's why we're so vigilant. That's why what happened with Snowden and these situations, we need to make sure we get the intelligence.
Let me just ask you this. Can you, under any circumstances, envision the United States sending ground combat troops back into the Middle East?
Absolutely not. That's not where we need to be. We have more resources than anyone in the world. From an intelligence perspective, from the ability to use our resources to take out groups like ISIS, but it's got to be well planned and get information. We don't need boots on the ground anymore. We don't need tanks going in, our infantry in there. That's not what we're dealing with anyhow. We're not taking over another country. We're not going to do that, and the American public do not want that either.
All right.
Sure.
Congressman,
okay,
thank you so much for
joining
us.
Good.
Hope to see you again. 57 years ago, Harvard professor Henry Kissinger